Okay. All right. So, hi everyone. I am Tanu. So, some of you know me, and we have more than 35 registrations for this. And I'm just kind of assuming that people would want to watch a recording. And today being a Saturday evening, they couldn't make it. Okay, so some of you know me and you have been working with me since many years, and some of you are here new. So, brief introduction about who I am and what I do. So I'm Tanu and I am the founder of New Earth Spiritual School. And qualification wise, I used to be in the corporate long time ago, and I have been in the corporate for 12, more than 12 years. And this work kind of came as a calling as I went deeper into my spiritual journey. And so today I am internationally certified by ICF and I'm a quantum leap coach, spiritual mentor, healer. I'm also into family constellations. And I offer one-on-one coaching, group containers. I do family constellation therapies as well. And I also run Bhagavad Gita study circles. So yeah, so my work is a blend of science and spirituality, and I use an integrated approach to help people, to guide people, to empower people to heal and embody their higher self so that they can manifest their highest reality, whatever that looks like for them in whatever phase of life they are in. So basically, meeting you exactly where you are. Okay. That being said, I welcome all of you here in today's container, today's circle, which is about the ancestors. And this is because of the Pitru Paksh time that's going on right now. So, what do you think we are going to do here? Just put it in the chat. Whatever you think we are going to do here. Forgiveness, healings, prayers. Yes. What else? What else are we going to do here? Remember, remember the closest ancestors. Yes. Maybe seeking forgiveness from our ancestors and also blessings from them. Yes. Understand the significance of our ancestors and their blessings and their presence. Yes. Okay. So today we all have gathered here to step into this container, this circle of remembrance. Okay. Pitru Paksh is the time, and outside of Pitru Paksh also, now that I have gone very deep into ancestral healing work, I can say that. And just to give you a little background of my exposure and my connection with my ancestors has been like zero. Okay, literally zero. I have been uprooted from my ancestral land. My my dad left home at a very young age, then I left the country at a very young age, then I came back, and so I have felt very uprooted all my life. And only now when I have started this healing work, I have started understanding the significance of the connection that we must have with our ancestors, because our very existence is because of them, right? So you cannot deny that, right? So the more you honor them, the more you remember them, the more you acknowledge them, your life gets better. And that's what we are going to understand a little bit. 1 hour being very less time for us to like really understand it deeply, but we are going to understand it a little bit. Okay. So we are going to honor those who have come before us, our ancestors, our lineage, and we are going to open our heart to their blessings, gifts, and guidance. That's what we are going to do here together. It is more of a gentle exploration. So, before we begin, I have some questions for you, and you can use the chat to kind of reflect and give your answers. And all my sessions are like this, it is never a monologue, it is always going to be interactive, and I want you to interact and engage while I speak to you. Okay. So when you hear the word ancestor, what comes to you? What does this word ancestor mean to you? Just put it in the chat. Dharmesh says grandparents, lineage. Yes. What else? Our existence, without them, we are not here. Yes. Lineage of my family and also the existence of humankind as a whole. Very nice. Right from the source. Yes. And love from them. Yes. So ancestors are the very source of our existence, right? The source, like you all said. Those who are connected to us via blood and DNA but are not in this realm. Yes. Okay, so just clearing this one thing, when we say ancestors, they could be both living and dead. Okay, so our grandparents, if they are alive, they are also ancestors. So they are very much in this realm. The ones who have passed on and are dead, they are not here, but they are also our ancestors and they are not in this realm. Yes. Okay. So when you think of your ancestors, what is the first image, memory, or feeling that comes to you? Put it in the chat. Image, memory, feeling, whatever it is. Dharmesh says a lot of fear associated with it. Yes, and I used to be that. I used to be very fearful of that, very disconnected. Everybody understands Hindi here, right? So I used to feel क्या ही होगा मतलब ancestor से कनेक्ट करके क्या होगा जो है नहीं यहाँ पे. So love and strong, feeling lonely. Okay. When you think of your ancestors, you feel lonely. Oh, they used to feel lonely. I think you mean that. Okay, you feel lonely after grandfather's death. Okay, yes. Love and strong. Yeah. So we all have these various things that we feel and receive when we think of our ancestors, right? So curiosity is also there. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, everybody, and participating. So my next question is, do you feel connected to your lineage or you feel distant? Like I was absolutely disconnected. So what is it for you? Do you feel distant, connected, connected and distant, feel connected? Hmm. Yeah. Disconnected. Looking at my behavior patterns, I feel I am all of them. Yes. They live through us, if that makes sense. Our ancestors live through us. Write it down because it's going to be so useful for you as we go into this. In the next 1 hour, you will understand how do they live through us. Of course, because you are here, you exist. Of course, your ancestors are living through you. But all their worries, traumas, wounds, gifts, everything is living through us, right? So, so notice when you are feeling and thinking and reflecting on the questions that I'm giving you, just notice where in your body you feel this connection or disconnection. And you can probably share in the chat if you would like to. Heart. Yeah. Hmm. So stay with that. Stay with that. Okay. Emotional disconnection, actually, heart chakra. Yes. Okay. Hmm. So I'll speak now a little bit about what is so different about Pitru Paksh. Okay, this period, these 2 weeks, right, until the 21st of September, if I'm not wrong. So Pitru Paksh is a time when the veil between the two worlds, between the physical realm and the ancestral realm, is thinner, and it is much more easier to reach out to our ancestors and communicate with them, and the doorway basically kind of opens. Okay, so our prayers, our offerings, and the way you want to remember, honor, acknowledge them, everything just goes out to them in a much stronger way, okay, and much faster. Let me just put it that way. And ancestors have been looking upon us, even if we don't feel their presence. Sometimes we do feel their presence, but sometimes we may not. But they are very much here with us, and they are looking upon us with love. And while they do that, they are waiting for acknowledgement. They do wait for acknowledgement, right? So this is the best time to acknowledge their presence. And outside of Pitru Paksh also, I would suggest that all of you continue to honor, acknowledge their presence and their blessings in your life, and you will see how magically your life starts shifting with just that connection, that attempt, that effort that you make to connect with them. Okay. So this time is to this time invites us to, offer gratitude, release inherited burdens that we have inherited unconsciously from them, and welcome blessings into our lives. So that is the purpose. Yeah, parents, whoever has been from our family line and is living or dead, everyone is an ancestor. Okay, parents included. Okay, so now my question to you is, how does your family today is honoring your ancestors? Do you have any rituals, or what is it that you're doing? Are you doing anything? Just put it in the chat and keep it short. I tried collecting all the names and create an ancestor tree. Nothing. Swati ji, nothing. Thank you for honesty. I also used to do nothing until few months back. Yeah. The process was very heavy. I never heard that. Yes, yes. Offering food. Yeah. Yeah. So apart from that, you could also do, could just observe silence, light diyas, and just have a conversation with them, just connect with them heart to heart, right? And feel their presence. You can also just express your gratitude to them. So these rituals basically are meant to feel their presence, to acknowledge and honor them, right? So even if your family, let's say, has never spoken to you about your ancestors, and know that you, with the fact that you are here, sitting here and listening to me, is the testimony of the fact that you have started honoring them already. Okay. And you are the bridge between your ancestral line and the next generation. Okay. So how does that make you feel, you being the bridge? How is it landing on you? How does that make you feel? Important, yes. Very heavy. Lot of responsibility, right? Good but tedious. But whether we like it or not, this is a fact. And one way is that we just stay ignorant, which I was, and just continue to live unconsciously. And the other way is that you become aware of this fact that we are the bridge, and take responsibility of that. Okay. Because if we are the bridge anyway. So but if we are unconsciously living through life, we will just unconsciously pass on everything that we have inherited from our ancestors to our next generation. And if we are conscious, then we will take responsibility, we will heal, and we will break the cycle and chain of intergenerational trauma, right? Yes, Swati ji. Swati. Swati is saying, I mean responsibility. Yes, it is huge responsibility. And that is why it's very important that we, honor that place of responsibility and take action accordingly, right? So, why ancestors matter? Our ancestors are our roots. Without them, we would not exist. We have spoken about that. That bit is clear for all of us. And they have passed down their stories, their value systems, their belief systems, their resilience, all the good things in the world, but also their pain and silence and trauma and wounds, right? So everything they have passed it on to us. And we have consciously, unconsciously inherited that from our ancestors. Sometimes the struggles that we all are facing in our current life could be coming from something from our ancestral line. Okay. So when our ancestors are forgotten or excluded, we may feel entangled in their unfinished stories. Okay. So there could be many examples of this, right? So if some ancestor in some generation from your family was excluded for some reason, they had, let's say, done something wrong to somebody, right? And that's why the family excluded them. So those ancestors can get entangled with somebody in the future generation. So that child, when that child is born, they pick up those entanglements, and and then they suffer throughout their lives without even knowing why they are suffering. And the reason could be this, that they are just entangled with one of their ancestors, right? So that is why we have this very beautiful, powerful modality called family constellation, within which a lot of these hidden dynamics inside the family and ancestral line gets revealed and also healed, right? Yeah. So Malshri is saying, I feel I want to break this ancestral by and cycle by ending it with me, like the circle of life. Everything has an expiry, and I feel I'm that expiry by being the response. Yes, yes, we all are. We all must take this as a big responsibility, which is on us, right? And the other way is just look away because it's too much. Because it is too much. It's not easy. It's not easy. So healing begins when we look with compassion behind us. Like I said, I was very uprooted, and I wouldn't want to look behind, and I wouldn't want to connect with them. I don't want to know their stories. But now I want to, because now I have realized over the years, after doing so much healing work, there are so many issues in my life still kind of just there. And I've been guided to this modality of family constellation and ancestral healing, because you will reach here only when you have tried everything else. And now okay, this is where it all is, really is. All the surface level issues can be healed with other modalities, but very hidden and deep rooted issues, for those issues you need some powerful modalities like family constellation. And family constellation is meant only for families, hidden dynamics, and ancestral trauma, generational trauma. Okay. So, what all do you think we have inherited from our ancestors? There could be unresolved trauma, poverty, grief, any kind of loss, patterns. Yes, Dharmesh. We are unconsciously also carrying the fate of our excluded ancestors or forgotten ancestors. For example, a child may live in silence or pain just to represent someone who was silenced before, you know. So, such examples are there everywhere. They are so prevalent that you will not even be able to recognize that this is actually an ancestral pattern unless and until you put up a constellation. But at the same time, we have also inherited gifts and blessings like wisdom, right? Love and creativity, unfulfilled aspirations, unfinished business. Yes. So, my question to all of you is, what strength do you know you have inherited from your family? What are your strengths? Healing. Your willingness to heal. Do you mean that, Swati ji? Spiritual wealth, yes. So these are the, our heritage that we have inherited from our ancestors. Bold and not to shake when difficulties arise. Yes, that resilience. Being responsible for holding family members, social connections. Yes, kindness and staying connected to God. Healing hands. Yes, yes. Yeah. And what do you think are some of the burdens that you might be carrying that doesn't truly belong to you? Fear. Hmm. Emotional hypersensitivity. Yeah. People pleasing. Yes. Chaos. Yeah, regret. Yeah. So I just want to tell you all of this is that all the things that looks like wound, trauma, and burdens, right, that you have inherited from your ancestors, your family line, is nothing but, in a way, your unconscious way of showing them love. And we also call it hidden loyalty. So I'm just putting it in the chat. So we all have hidden loyalties with our parents, with and hidden unconscious and conscious loyalties with both our parents and also with our ancestors. So I'll give you my example. So I have inherited like chronic migraine from my mother. Okay. And she would have inherited from somebody in her family, which I'm yet to figure who had that. But I know that I've been entangled with my mother and for many such issues in my life. And I just inherited her migraine as it is, okay? As severe as it could get. So that is my hidden loyalty towards her. That mother, if you have suffered all your life because of migraine, I will also suffer so that I can show you how much I love you, right? And this is not conscious. At an unconscious level, I am showing my love to her by being as sick as I can be, like the way used to be sick. So if you have suffered, I will also suffer. So, how many of you resonate with this? How many of you feel that you have such loyalties towards somebody in the family? Dharmesh says, I do. Yes, yes. I would be surprised if you said I don't. And there could be two reasons why you said so. One would be you are living in a state of denial. The second one would be you're just unaware, right? And both are okay. Sometimes we are not ready to accept the truth, right? Yeah. So if you have been doing the inner work, you would have reached a stage where you are able to return it. So we call it returning. Whatever unconsciously we have taken from our parents or ancestors, we return it back to them with love. Okay. And it is possible. It is a slow, gradual process, but very effective way of returning whatever you have inherited. The other way is that you put up a constellation and see what's happening and where is the root cause of that entanglement. So, for example, I need to put up a constellation and see where is the migraine actually coming from, right? And we can heal it from the entire family line. And when you heal that from your entire family line, your next generations also get healed from that. So nobody else gets the same issue. So Dharmesh, I'm going to follow the structure that I already have. And whatever questions you have which doesn't get answered here, There is a group where you can put and we can talk about it there as well, right? Okay. So when we start acknowledging our ancestors, what happens is we start releasing those burdens, conscious, unconscious, intentional, unintentional, all of those burdens that we have. Yes, Swati, to answer you that if can it can be done for cancer, diabetes, everything, all physical diseases as well. But then sometimes, and it may happen that not everything is systemic, not everything is coming from your ancestral line. Something could be coming from your past life as well. So it is very case to case basis, but yes, we can definitely look at it. So when we acknowledge and honor and worship our ancestors and connect with them, the flow of love is restored. There are orders of love in the family which flows from the older generation to younger generation. So when we start honoring them, acknowledging them, that flow of love and life is restored. And all the forgotten bonds and all the exclusions that had happened in the past, they get healed. All the entanglements get healed. And we start feeling that unseen, unfelt support and presence of our ancestors behind us. In fact, family constellation as a modality, it shows us that when each ancestor is in their rightful place, life begins to flow more freely. And it is very much evident when we put up the constellation and we start putting all the representatives in the right place. We see that the energy in the constellation eases out and everybody starts feeling good. All the tension, all the anger, or all the heavy energy that dissipates. So whenever we give our ancestors the rightful place, and we as children take the rightful place in our family system, life begins to flow more freely. Right? So how many of you have been parentified? For example, parentified would, what I mean by parentified is that you had to play the role of the parent for your parent, taking care of parents, basically. Dharmesh. Yeah, I think most Indian kids have been parentified. So what happens then is that the flow of love breaks. When we become the parent of the parent, the flow of love breaks. So we have to take our rightful place as a child. Okay, and only then the love flows in a way it has to flow. And all our issues which have occurred in our lives currently that we are facing, because of those disturbance or breakage in that flow of love in life, all those problems disappear on their own as we start healing ourselves. Yeah, so honoring our ancestors also doesn't really mean that we have to approve of something that they have done wrong. No, we are just recognizing them. We are just taking our rightful place and accepting them just the way they are, knowing this biological scientific fact that without them our existence is not possible, right? So just coming from that place of gratitude, that thank you for the gift of life, however they were, and we might not agree with them, or our philosophies of life will not match, and yet can I still stay as a child in the order of love and take their blessings, accept them the way they are, respect them, right? So by honoring them, we are just saying that we all belong to the same family. And dear ancestor, you are a part of me. They are living through us, right? And you are a part of my life and my story. So just that acknowledgement is enough, actually. So now we are slowly getting into a process that we have for today, which is for 15 minutes. So I really want all of you to just sit comfortably, come on camera if it is possible, because I will have no idea if you are connected, if you are following what I'm saying. Okay, so sit comfortably, close your eyes, And place your right hand on your heart and left hand on your belly. And silently just ask yourself, as you breathe deeply into your belly, just ask yourself, whom do I want to honor today? And see what you receive. Don't try to think intellectually. Go with your inner guidance. Whom do I want to honor today? And what blessing do I want to receive today? Or is it something that I want to release or let go of? See what you receive. And as you do that, just say this to yourself that I open my heart to my lineage and I honor the roots I come from. Stay there as you say that and feel it in your body. And now we are going to get into our meditation for today. So take a few more deep breaths, full inhalations and full exhalations. Feel the ground beneath you strong and steady, holding you like the earth herself has always held you. Above you, a vast open sky stretches endlessly, just filled with stars. And around you, just imagine a circle of golden light forming. And this is your sacred space where you are safe and you are protected. Feel yourself within this circle of golden light. And now behind you, see your parents appear, both your father and mother. Whether your relationship with them is tender or difficult, simply see them as two souls who have passed life forward to you, who has given the gift of life to you. And behind them, see your grandparents appear, both parents of your father and your mother. Feel their presence, even if you don't know them. If you have never seen them, which may happen, just feel their presence. Just feel their presence of being here with you, behind you and your parents. And with the next breath, see your great grandparents appearing and standing behind your grandparents. See them all and feel their energy, feel their presence behind you. And as you do that, you see generation after generations before them, they start to appear, they begin to gather, and you start sensing this vast river of ancestors standing behind you. Feel the presence of this river, this collective energy of all your ancestors standing behind you. Feel that strength, that power, that love and support. Some faces might be familiar, some are blurred, some known, some unknown. Some may even feel distant or heavy. And yet, all of them belong. All of them carry a thread of your story. So take a breath and whisper softly in your heart, I see you, I honor you, and you belong. And feel the shift as you acknowledge them. You can say that again. I see you, I honor you, and you belong. Feel the shift as you acknowledge and honor their presence. Perhaps this may happen that some of your ancestors have been waiting patiently for this moment to be remembered, to be seen, to be welcomed back, to be acknowledged, to be honored, to be loved, to be accepted. Notice if there is an ancestor who looks heavy or, is carrying any sorrow or pain or a burden, which is maybe too heavy for them to bear. And just say to them that this was never mine to carry. And with love and respect, I return it to you. I trust you and life to hold it now. As you release, feel this weight gently lifting from your shoulders, your chest, and your heart. Like stones being placed down on earth, you no longer need to carry them. And now watch as the line of ancestors begins to glow. From their heart center, streams of golden light begin to flow forward, like rivers of love, resilience, strength, support, and blessings. This golden river of life force flows directly into you, into your heart, your breath, and your entire being. So breathe it in deeply. Feel yourself being nourished, supported, and loved by all those who walked before you. Be in this beautiful, powerful energy, this golden river of life force. And now notice one ancestor stepping forward. And as they come closer with eyes full of love and kindness, in their hands, they hold a symbol for you. It could be a gift, a message, a blessing. It might be an object, a flower, or simply light. Receive this symbol with gratitude, knowing it carries wisdom for your life. Hold it closer to your heart and say, "Thank you. Thank you." And I will carry this gift with reverence, with love. And now allow yourself to be gently lifted with your ancestors rising together into a higher realm, a dimension of light, peace, and love, where our ancestors live in their purest form, where there is no pain, no wound, no heaviness. There is just freedom, radiance, and unconditional love. And look at them smiling upon you from this higher place. Their eyes shining, their hands extended, blessing you. Feel the waves of love pouring into you. Love that has been waiting across centuries just for this moment to reach you. Let your heart open wide to receive. Breathe in this love. Let it fill every cell of your body. Let it heal the places that, felt lonely or unsupported or disconnected. Rest here in their embrace, knowing you are never alone. 1,000 unseen hands stand behind you. 1,000 loving eyes watch over you. 1,000 beating hearts live within your own. I will leave you all here for the next 1 minute to just connect with your ancestors and their blessings and take this all in. Feel their energy, feel their presence and blessings and love, and let it all integrate within you. When you feel ready, you can bow your head in gratitude and say this to them: I honor you, I thank you. You live in me, and through me, your love continues. Slowly and gently take another final deep breath and start returning back to the circle, carrying this light and blessing and the symbol with you. And as you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes. And we can take some sharings. You could also unmute and speak if you want, or share it in the chat, whatever feels right. How was this meditation for you? What came up for you? Did you receive anything? What was the symbol all about? Did you release anything? Just share it in the chat. And how did it feel to be in the presence of your lineage? Just breathe into it and allow yourself to release, to unentangle. Yeah. Mm. Feeling of acceptance. So you could all do this simple practice every day, actually. Just close your eyes and see that river of ancestors, that endless river of ancestors behind you, and taking life and love from them, taking their support, and just expressing your gratitude to them. That's it. Simple. Feeling their strength behind you. Because only when we have taken life fully from our ancestors, only then we can give life fully to our children. So that is the responsibility that is there with us. And it's huge, right? Okay. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about, some very mini rituals that you could do on a daily basis, not just during this time, but and throughout the year. And I would recommend and suggest that you do that every day, in fact, not just during the Pitru Paksh time. It's just lighting a candle. You can also create an altar for your, family systems, like at least your parents, grandparents, and if at all you can reach out to your great grandparents. And even if you do not have their photographs, you can just have any object which represents them or reminds you of them. It could be anything, crystal or flower, or I don't know, whatever that is for you. So you could do that, and it will be very helpful if you can do that every day, not just during Pitru Paksh time. And um, You could also, honor and acknowledge and remember them, make that effort to remember them by doing simple things, like doing simple activities that they used to love, maybe cooking something that they used to love, doing some dan charity. Depends on what you resonate with and not as a force. Planting trees, or pick up something that feels easier to practice. It should not be just another task, right? And even if you feel nothing right now, right? Just trust the process and know that just your little effort or act of honoring them creates ripples through timelines, through past and future. Little bit of acknowledgement, little bit of honoring also is can potentially create very powerful ripples in the past and also in the present. Okay, so I think I am done here. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And if I think I can answer now, I will answer. Otherwise, we can take it in the chat as well. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes, Tanu.
Yeah, Manju.
I'm putting it in the chat.
Okay. So just one small announcement over here is that I also do family constellation sessions, and those are obviously individual sessions. So if any one of you is interested, right now we are running some offers on that, so you can get in touch with me. And it's till 21st of September. The offers are till then. Yeah, so rituals are very simple, Manju. I can also post it in the chat on the WhatsApp group. Uh, you can start with something very simple, is like lighting a diya, you know, and remembering them every day. And I have made it very simple for myself that I've created an altar where I put their pictures, and I anyway do incense sticks and diya every day. So I see them every day. I feel their presence. I take their blessings. So that is the smallest, simplest ritual I do every day. You could do a little bit more, as well, right? Planting trees, or doing some charity, preparing food, offering food. Depends upon what you resonate with. Swatiji is asking, can we talk to parents what we could not talk to them when they were alive? Yes. Yes. That's the whole purpose. And always remember, you have to keep taking only what is good for you from them and returning the rest back to them, wherever it is coming from, returning it back to the source. Okay? Because unconsciously, we carry a lot of things for our parents and ancestors out of love. So we don't need to do that. There's a very beautiful line from Bert Hellinger, who is the founder of Family Constellation. He says that you are your ancestors' dream. So your ancestors do not want you to suffer. They want you to live your life fully, to be happy, to be successful. So by, stopping our own growth, or by stopping, by suffering, or by getting into entanglements, we are not doing any good to anybody. So it is our responsibility to break that cycle, because it's an unconscious cycle. Consciously, no ancestor wants you to live in pain. We have taken it up because of unconscious love, right? It is also called as, in the systemic language, it is also called as blind love. So, for example, if I have taken up migraine from my mother, It is blind love that I have towards her. So blind love has to translate or convert, transmute into enlightened love. So I'm just writing it in the chat. So blind love has to become enlightened love. And that will happen only when we have healed those parts within us which are unconsciously loyal to our ancestors or parents. Now we have to become aware of what are the unconscious hidden loyalties we have towards our ancestors and heal them and break that cycle of intergenerational trauma. It is a responsibility. If you don't do it, your next generation will take it up. So it's huge responsibility. Yeah, any more questions? Dharmesh, what was your question? Just going back in the chat, can you also talk about ancestral curses, which is generally fear-based, connecting with ancestors? What is this? Like, what are ancestral curses? Thank you, Manju. Yeah, Dharmesh, you can speak.
Thank you. So what I meant, like in generally, there are notions that you have Pitru dosh or
Yeah.
some curses are going from generation to generation. That sort of perspective, and which is generally fear-based, connecting to your lineage, and we may have no idea what happened earlier, and you might be suffering through that. So with that, I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly what happens inside family constellation. This releasing, returning, um, unentangling. These are all entanglements. Whatever we call in Hindi, Pitrudosh and all are entanglements in systemic language. Entanglements and intergenerational trauma and wounds. We say that we have, and it's been carried forwarded through generations, right? Because why is it being carried forwarded? Because nobody has really taken a step back and put any effort to heal it, right? Also, and this is my belief, just doing the rituals in Pitru Paksh that we do in Hinduism may not be enough to like really release those doshas or those entanglements. It has to come from within. That honoring that movement is internal. Rituals are very symbolic, very, very symbolic. Doing rituals alone cannot take away the entanglements. That honoring, that acknowledgement has to happen. Even if you don't do rituals physically in the real world, but you have that feeling of honoring, acknowledging, respecting, accepting them, and also doing this little bit of, those movements. Like Manju is asking if you have unconsciously inherited overthinking from a parent. How do I release it? Is again by making those movements, returning it back to them. So that's what we do inside family constellation sessions. And at times you may feel that you have taken it up from your parents. Your parents must have taken it from their grandparents, their great grandparents. So somewhere from the ancestral line it is coming, right? So we get to that root cause and we resolve it there. So yeah, you would have definitely inherited. We all are a product of our parents only, right? We take everything from them, consciously, unconsciously. So did I answer your question, Dharmesh? Yeah. Okay. Any more questions you have? Yes, all of it, Swatiji, all of it. Everything, all your. Okay, best way to look at it is any issue that you have in your life as of today, which has been like your biggest issue in life and has been there. no matter what you do, you have not been able to resolve it. Are any such issues in your life? All of you, just put it in the chat. No matter what, you haven't been able to resolve it. And I'll give you some examples. For example, there are some families very prone to road accidents. There would be some families very prone to business losses. No matter what business they put up, they have been generationally, all the businesses have been running into losses. These are some of the examples of systemic patterns, which is just there. No matter what you do, you just cannot get rid of it. So that is a generational curse, ancestral curse. It's just not going. And that's why you need these modalities where I'm not saying it will, magically disappear from your life, but yeah, to a large extent, it gets healed. And of course, the integration takes time, like weeks, months, and years at times, but it happens. The healing does happen. No. We are not saying that we are thinking negatively about them. No, that's not the point. The point is that you understand that there could be a root cause in your ancestral line and take action to heal that. We are not talking bad about them. Bilkul bhi nahi. Right? In fact, take responsibility, become aware. Most of us now, we somehow, because it is so painful now, we live in denial. And in the world of Netflix and binge eating and binge watching, it's very easy to stay distracted all our lives and not look at these uncomfortable parts and just pass it on to our next generation. That's the easiest thing to do. What is hard is to sit with the discomfort and look at our wounds and traumas and acknowledge the fact that yes, the roots are probably somewhere in my ancestral line. And yes, I can take responsibility of that and heal it as well. And not slip into a victim mindset. Oh my God, what can I do if this is coming from my ancestors? The point is not that. Okay. It is important. Yes, it is very important that you do not pass it on to your children. That is why we are having this session and we are having this conversation. Yes. And some couples consciously decide to not give birth to any children. So their children might not inherit, but their siblings' children or somebody in the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 generations might pick up those issues. So it's never really about our own children. If it stays in the family system unresolved, anybody in the next generation can pick that up. Not necessarily our children, but our children are more susceptible to that. Yeah, Manju is saying I would be interested in family constellation. All of you should be, very much. And I'm saying this with experience. I came to know about family constellation last year. So I don't know how many of you, now I'm transitioning into a little bit of a lighter conversation. There's this beautiful show called Another Self on Netflix. So I don't know how many of you have watched it. So I watched it last year sometime, and it is based on family constellation. It's a beautiful series of 2 seasons. It is fiction, but family constellation is real. So it is based on family constellation. And I had forwarded all the parts of the constellation because I just could not wrap my head around something as magical as family constellation. And then 1 year later, fast forward, I am a family constellator now. I am a therapist now. So yeah, this is how your ancestors will guide you. So you have to stay open. Today you have already, made that connection and invoked that connection. Now you see how guidance and things are going to happen in your life, and you will be taken into paths where you are supposed to go. That I can assure you for sure. All right. Thank you so much, all of you, for showing up. If you have more questions, anything comes up, the group is there till 21st. Please feel free to write, share your insights, reflections, questions. And for family constellation session, you need to get in touch with me because I am running this offer and I think I already have few registrations that I'll not be able to take too many also. So get in touch with me. You all have my number. Thank you so much. Deep gratitude for your presence coming online. Thank you. Bye. See you guys.